Yes. Pause.
Welcome back to another episode 80, I believe, of the Scarlet and Blue Show. We're in week 2. We have a lot of exciting stuff to talk about here today. Of course, we got the matchups that our teams have in Texas and Western Michigan, and we've got a couple other things I'm sure we'll throw in there as well here. So excited to go.
Hey, look out now. The sideline, forget about it. This baby's over. Oh, my goodness. One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, on the football field.
Touchdown. No flag. Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins. Here's the run again. Donovan Edwards. Whoa. Can they catch him? No. Donovan Edwards again.
And there we are. Still figuring this out. We're getting there. All right. Week 2, man. Week 2. Good show last week. A lot of fun things were talked about and said. And I just want to say, reeled off that hot take. I want you to know I took one for the team here. I got the engagement up. You're welcome.
I told you that take was wild. It
was hot.
Yeah, and because it gets traction does not make it a good take. Remember that.
I disagree. Define a hot take, Garrison? What would a hot take be?
I would say first, the chances of it happening have to be very, very low.
Okay, check.
It has to be something that's very preposterous.
Okay.
And it's got to get the people going.
Boom. Check. Knocked all those out. That was fun. For those of you who missed it, I said, and I still stand by this to a degree.
I don't know why.
I saw another Third and Wolverine had a great response. He's like, I think the right word you're trying to say is overlooked. I was like, that's a good word. So forgotten probably is not the wrong word. And I also want to ask you too, when I say didn't win anything, did you know I was talking about the team didn't win anything? Or did you think I meant that he didn't win anything?
Because like it's all right. So people forget that sometimes you have to separate the player from the team. It's almost like when I had conversations with people that would be like, "Oh, JJ McCarthy's just as good as CJ Stroud." People have actually tried to have that conversation with me. I'm like, why? Because they're like, "Oh, because he won the game." Dude, yeah. What in the world does that have to do with the guy as a player? So when you say that Marv didn't win anything, think of all the Ohio State receivers that never won a Biletnikoff. He did.
Yeah, I looked that up. You know who the last Buckeye receiver was? Terry Glenn.
Yeah.
Forgotten name. No disrespect to Terry Glenn, but just a forgotten name.
He's not a forgotten name. He's not a forgotten name. You're just not a Buckeye.
No, I think if you're going to talk to people and they list their top 5 like best receivers, I bet you Terry Glenn's not making that list.
No, and that's okay. I mean, I just because you won the award doesn't mean you're better than someone else. Troy Smith won the Heisman. He's not better than CJ Stroud.
Yeah. All right. Well, I meant that as a team award. Hand up. Should have clarified. But that's to my mind, like the Buckeye team didn't win anything.
Well, whereas, you gotta specify that next time.
Well, I know I have to. I just I know you guys like your individual awards and your off-season accolades, but Michigan, it's the team.
Yeah, I don't know how you can say that. You see, you say things like that when a lot of us that watch, I'm sure a lot of people that watch the show that are Buckeyes, we've seen 2 championships. We literally held this conference on our back while other programs like you that's supposed to be blue bloods fell to the wayside, went into college football purgatory and could barely get out of there. Like, come on.
Half our fans don't remember 2002. Let's just
that's their fault. Look at your history. That doesn't mean they don't care about their team as much as I do.
All right.
And if I have some time real quick, Bryce, I want to read
Can we
this
get the
out.
sponsor in quick, or is this related to this?
Oh, go ahead. Let's hit the sponsor real quick.
I just want to make sure our sponsor, Stockton Bar, gets all the love.
They do.
They do.
They
But
should.
hold that thought. Stockton, where did it go? Stockton Bar, just delicious vodka, smooth taste with purpose. If you're looking for a good beverage this season, enjoy it responsibly, of course. If you want a good beverage, check out Stockton Bar, delicious vodka, smooth taste with purpose. The donation goes to they donate a portion of every bottle sold to the Boys and Girls Club, so go get yours at stocktonbar.com. All right, go ahead.
No, you know what? I'm going to call this our Stock to Bar comment of the week so far.
Ooh,
I want to read this to you, Bryce Sack, and this is from Rico Jesus on YouTube. He has been watching our show for a while now, and I just want to read this out. I hate his team, but Garrison dropping facts, Bryce.
Stop.
My guy, you are being delusional about Don's visibility as a running back. Mullins is the much, in all caps, much better running back. He has awesome speed, but a drunk man could hit those holes that Don ran through against Ohio, he means Ohio State because we're not the Bobcats. Come on, Rico. And Washington, and a drunk man might be tougher to tackle.
That's disrespectful, Rico. But shout out Rico.
Oh man, when I saw that comment, Bryce, I told you might be the only one of your fans.
No, there were so many people. There were so many people supporting that. Get out of here. Shout out Rico, though. I like all my.
It's a shame. It's a shame that they don't know football.
Stop.
or at least the running back position.
Let's get into before we get into Texas too. I do think the news about Jerome Moore's contract is intriguing. 95% of me does believe that it's T's and C's and legalese at the end of the contract to get it done. The other 5% of me thinks it's been 7 months. The 90-day period, whatever the legal terms for it are called. When you have memorandum of, what is it, MOA, right? So what's the official memorandum of what? Memorandum of understanding.
Look at
MOU.
us.
Memorandum.
Yeah, thank you. MOU.
Of understanding. Yeah. When you have that, it's basically the handshake agreement that you're, so he's getting paid, but there's of course no contractual agreement, which means you can get fired at any time. In this case, he could leave, or the school could say, "Hey, see ya." Why isn't this done?
Did you? I was laughing earlier. I was listening to Phil from Maze Madman. He said that they could have wrote that contract on the toilet paper.
That's the sad part, is they could have.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't understand what it just makes you wonder. It's frustrating. But then also, I'm not gonna speculate.
And about did you? I mean, you left out Ward saying things popping up.
What was his? Is that what his quote was? I didn't listen to the interview. I read the.
Here. Well, you give your thoughts on it, and I'll look it up.
Those were my thoughts, but things popping up. Yeah, it makes you wonder. Like, this is where it gets tiresome, because I'm so sick of talking about this. Like, if something happened, it happened. Just get it out there. There's two reasons. One, it's been almost a year now. Let's just get it out there. Stuff is leaked already. Someone else leaked the rest. Like, this is ridiculous. And I know Michigan fans wanted due process. And if that's the case, then we've got another year to go. And it's just like, if this stuff keeps coming up, I mean, the initial USA Today article was released last week, Thursday or Friday. Then I think it was the Free Press, or maybe it was MLive. I think the article you said.
Well, let's not spend so much time on it.
I know. All that to say, this needs to wrap up, and we need to move on here.
And we can move on. I'll just read it to you so you can know it or hear it. They don't just happen overnight, and there are things that have popped up, but they are being worked on. Sharon knows our commitment to him. We know his commitment to us, and same thing with the assistant coaches via Aaron McMahon. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just
something else that's annoying to see in the news.
It's annoying to see. Right. And honestly, the last thing I'll say on the whole Stallions thing, like,
Oh no, God, okay.
no, you're gonna agree with this. I'm sick of it because it's taken away
I
from
just
the
don't want to
players.
talk about it unless we need to.
I know, I don't either. It's just taken away from the players here, and that sucks. Like, we're all stupid fans, and we just love this game. We love our teams, but like,
You can
freaking
call
taken away from
yourself
the
stupid,
players.
not me.
Yeah, well, I think we got some highlight tape, brother. All right,
All right.
let's talk about the game because you guys play another beanbag. We've got. Let's go this view. What do we like? Do we like this view more? I feel like we can see our pretty faces.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. So Garrison, we got the Texas Longhorns coming to town.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fired up. I got a lot of notes here. I talked to my good pal Jared Villarreal. I think he's a pretty regular listener, and he is living in Austin, went to UT,
Okay.
season ticket holder for the Horns. Took him to a game last year. Shout
Nice.
out UTSA for not covering that game. Thank you. But we had fun there. He knows what he's talking about, so was able to chop it up with him and get some good insight.
Mm-hmm.
So let's dive in because obviously you got thoughts here, and it's gonna be a fun week, and the game can't come soon enough. All right. So long story short, I'm very excited about this game, and I think we will win this game. Am I going to guarantee it? No, I'm not going to guarantee it, but I'm fired up about it.
Question.
Up. Please.
Was there anything that could have happened last week that would have made you say you guys are not winning?
Yeah, progress. If we didn't see offensive improvement in the second half, and if the defense is still sick.
Do you truly believe you guys are going to win the game, or are you just saying it? Like, do you actually think we are better than Texas? We're going to win the game.
Are we better than Texas? I don't think the better team always wins a football game, but I think we very much can beat them.
Okay.
And we'll beat
All right.
them.
Well, yeah. Give me your thoughts on it.
How's that for a diplomatic answer? All right, let's talk X's and O's offense here.
Okay.
Quinn. So I went back, watched the Colorado State game after we recorded on Tuesday night, and watched that. That offense is fun. That offense is fun to watch. It's like you guys just hopped up on steroids. I think there's way more motion and way more action than you guys normally do. And maybe the offense has changed. Probably not this offense this year, but like the
past three.
The past three. Yeah, like I think Quinn and CJ are probably pretty similar quarterbacks.
No,
Quinn's awesome.
No.
You don't think so?
Quinn's not in the same stratosphere as CJ.
You don't think Quinn could be? Okay, all right. I'm not gonna argue with that because I don't necessarily disagree. I don't think you don't think Quinn's that even close. Oh, I love what I see out of Quinn.
Dude, what are you, dude?
That's no disrespect to CJ.
Sorry.
Hopefully, that's an ode to CJ.
It's this isn't a CJ Stroud conversation, but CJ Stroud is like he's one of the best college quarterbacks I've ever seen throw a football. So like that's not a conversation for me.
Okay, all right, well, fine.
But Quinn's very good. But Quinn would start on 98.5% of college teams right now.
Yeah, I think his placement and his throw is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets it out. He gets it out quick and puts it on dime. So the receiver weapons are awesome. You got obviously Isaiah Bond. You got that freshman Ryan Wingo who got action early on in that game, and then you've got and I think his name on here. Yeah, Matthew Bolden as well as just receivers to watch.
Bring in Jonte Cook.
What?
Jonte Cook.
What about him? You saying he's on there as well?
Yeah, dude, the guy had 50 yards last week.
Did he? Yeah. See, I was going through, and Matthew Bolden had 2 touchdowns. I think didn't Bond have one? There's a lot of scoring last week.
Yeah. No, Jonte Cook is he was one of the top wide receivers coming out of high school. Very fast. Very fast.
This guy. Yep. Yeah, dude. So point being here is fun offense, lots of playmakers. And then, I think you got to look at the game, and you look at the game against Colorado State. Colorado State's pass defense, at least in 2023, was abysmal, and it didn't look great. But I still think that doesn't diminish what Texas did. The running back losses are significant. And that was one thing that Jared was telling me, is that CJ Baxter loss is a major loss. And so, they CJ Baxter and then Christian Clark, who I think was the second on the depth chart, if not third.
No. Maybe third or fourth.
Maybe third or fourth. So, but I think in that game,
they still have Jaden Blue.
Travion, I think Weiser is his name, right?
No, who's the true freshman they have? Jarrett Gibson, yeah. So
Weisner.
I think it hurts them just in terms of depth.
Yeah,
which is still important.
So, yeah. So I think running back. Yeah, while CJ Baxter is a big loss, I think like you said, those two guys can step in, running back by committee if anything at the yard. So they mentioned this on the broadcast. Red zone offense was pretty bad last year for Texas. It's a new season, so you can't just base it solely off of last year. But that offense is explosive. I think they were number 9 in yards per game. That offense was. So high powered explosive offense that shouldn't take many steps backwards. And they have an offensive line that I think is one of their strengths too. A lot of guys coming back. I think they got that left tackle who's probably going to be a first round pick, top 10 pick.
It's probably the best offensive line in the nation.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome offensive line. And so, yeah, you got it. Michigan has obviously dealt with this type of offense playing you guys. And so I think the recipe is going to be a lot of the same. What I want to see, though, here is what Wink's going to do blitzing, because I think that's going to be the key. When Colorado get to Quinn, it threw him off. It wasn't much because they only had a few stops. But when they could get to him, it threw him off. And so I can't wait to watch the Texas O-line versus our D-line. That's going to be just phenomenal. So fired up for that. I think Josiah Stewart flexed a new set of muscles last week, and the guy's a freak. I think the rest of his D-line is awesome. It's just going to be, can the guys who come in and sub in put on similar production? We'll see. But fired up for that matchup. Anything on Texas's offense?
I think it's very high powered. I think Quinn Ewers is a great I don't call him great. He's really good at conducting that offense in Steve Sarkisian's scheme. A lot of movement. And guys are running deep. I'm very interested to see on how many times they do run the ball. I think if Texas wants to win this game, they have to, not because of, I think they're going to get great production, but they at least have to run the ball 20 to 25 times. I think that just keeps you guys honest, and also it doesn't make you too one-dimensional. Then I already think you're probably going to have to be, unless your offensive line is able to get a really good push on a consistent basis during the game. I am interested in seeing. Well, we're not talking about you guys yet, but I think having a guy like Isaiah Bond at wide receiver, a guy's a more veteran guy than the rest of their wide receiver room, is very important. He's played a lot of good football. Played at Bama, as you know, last year. Saw a lot of people saying, "Isn't he the same guy that played at Alabama?" I said, "Yeah, but Quinn Ewers wasn't throwing him the ball last year." You know what I'm saying? It's a much different scenario for Isaiah Bond now. I want to caution you, because I'm sure one of the reasons you're picking your team to win, outside of you just being a fan, is that you guys are home, correct?
I mean, not necessarily. Like, it helps.
Like,
But
what would you point to on why you believe you guys will win this game?
I think our defense will be that solid, and we'll keep you guys, keep them in front of us, and it's about keeping them out of the end zone. Again, they were the worst. I think they were 1/10 to 1/20th in the red zone metrics last year. Again, new year, but
I don't care about last year. You know that.
No, I know, but it's what we have to base off of. And I think their weakest point on defense is the interior defensive line, just because they lost those two studs. And if you look at the depth chart, it's a bit light in the booty. on defense, and I think that's our strength. And so I think there's at least an opportunity there. So, and then home field I suppose definitely helps.
Wait. You're talking as if your offensive line is a strength right now.
Right.
Your offensive line is not a strength. Even you said that was the most concerning thing you saw last week. Wait a second.
But
if you had to rank these 3 offensive lines from last Saturday, Ohio State, Oregon, and Michigan, rank them 1 to 3 from last week's performance.
Oh, well, okay. That's the number 2, 3 team in the nation. So I'd go Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan.
You think Oregon's offensive line played better than Ohio State's last week?
I watched that game. Did you watch that game?
Yes.
I watched that game. They got push. They gave Dylan time. That was a weird game.
Bryce,
that offense rolled.
You can't have push when you have less than 3 yards a carry.
Dude, I'm just saying they gave that.
What did you watch? What were you watching? A lot of the time he had to ding and dunk because this offensive line got pushed back. Bryce, everyone destroyed
what I saw.
Everyone in the nation on any platform from X to YouTube said that offensive line was a problem. What were you looking at? Everyone saw the same thing except for you?
Let me pull this up.
That offensive line did not look good last week from Oregon. An Oregon fan would tell you that.
Hold on. Oh, they only had 107 yards. All right. Maybe I take it back. Maybe I take it back. Right. No, what I saw is an offense that moved the ball up and down the field but couldn't put it in the end zone. I didn't realize it was only 107 yards.
And I just thought Dylan was like 7.7 a pass.
Yeah, and he threw a lot of short stuff. So, all right. Why does 650 keep popping up? All right, fine.
So, but I say all that to say you talked about Texas D line as if you guys have an advantage there. But I don't know that for a fact. I don't think you know that for a fact.
That our offensive line, no, I mean, dude, until they play the game. But like, I'm confident that we can get the job done. Am I guaranteeing anything?
Okay,
no, but I'm confident.
I'm sure Texas fans are too about their D line. So
of course,
I'm simply just going by what we saw. And I remind you what Devin Gardner said about your offensive line. He said they cannot block stacked boxes. He said this is not the O-line. He says one game, as you said also, and I agree with.
Yep.
But the last 3 years, in the first game of the year, those offensive lines are mowing down people. So,
well, in the first 3 games, I'd have to go back and look at the stats, but I don't think that's true because JJ threw for 3 touchdowns against ECU. I think that was ECU. And it took us a couple games for the offensive line to get clicking.
Well, that was last year. But they still mowed guys down. You guys still ran the ball to probably. I mean, JJ had a lot to do with you guys moving the ball last year. But 2 out of 3 last years, and even last year, you guys are still based on the run and you ran the ball. So what I'm saying is, like, I don't know if your offensive line is I guess I just have to see it. I have to see it. I guess I'll just talk about your defense real quick while I'm here.
Please.
I had a conversation with somebody and they said, well, we've faced defenses, offensive like this, we're built like this is what the defense was built for. And we played guys like Washington and Ohio State. Yeah, but those are different defenses. Last year's secondary is better than this year's secondary. The year before secondary is better than this year's secondary. I think because Emeka Egbuka was in and out last season, Carnell Tate was a freshman, and yes, we had Marv. I think just off the face of that, this is a better wide receiver than Ohio State had last year. not like talent wise, but just based on the fact of the situation that we were going through as a unit last year. I I thought this was going to be a low scoring game until about an hour ago. I not kid you. I was on the phone with someone earlier, and I said I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I literally talked myself out of it in an hour.
Okay, let's hear.
I think your defense is going to be in the field a lot. I think they're going to be in the field a lot.
Okay.
And they won't be Texas scoring won't be the reason why the defense won't be the reason why you guys lose this game. It'll be the offense. I think you'll see less Alex Orgy this week.
Okay.
A lot of fans like Sam Webb said, why don't they run the RPO? Well, to run the RPO, you gotta do the P thing.
He can do the P thing. I trust him.
And he can't do it. It's another week for Donovan Ewers to prove me wrong. And I would actually rather be wrong, but eventually it's annoying to watch a guy who has that type of talent look like that. I expect Khalil Mullins to get more carries. I think you sent this to me, and I saw this. I think you sent this to me, but no, you said this actually that the freshman running back
Jordan Marshall's,
Tony Alford said he's going to get him on the field. Also said that Ben Hall will get on the field, and I like Ben Hall. I think he's I think he's a good running back for the purpose he serves as a big guy. I don't think you have the offense to keep up. And I think your defense will keep you in it, but not enough.
Okay. Yeah, I think the biggest mistake from last week, and I'm glad Alfred said it because we did talk about it briefly at the end of the show, but the fact that Ben Hall and Marshall, neither of those guys got touches is a mistake. That
made no sense.
I hate to have Jordan Marshall's first touch be against Texas. Because I think Texas defense, while they lost those 2 D linemen, which I think is a big loss, and it's going to be something Michigan's going to have to go after. And we can debate whether they can or they won't, whatever. I think that's something you have to go after. I also think that Texas secondary and their linebackers are sick. Jared was telling me about this Anthony Hill, this 5-star linebacker who's going to have the mic in his helmet or the audio in his helmet.
Yep.
I think he's a freshman this year, or at least he's underclassman, and like that tells you something about a player if they're getting the mic. And they got some transfers, and so like I don't know how much we're going to be able to throw on them, and so we have to stick with the run game. And yeah, I think you're right, man. If you can't get the run game going, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to absolutely be in trouble because that opens up the entire offense. So it'll be interesting to see, man. It'll be interesting to see. I'm so excited for it. I think we can win this game. Again, not guaranteeing a thing, but I think we can win. I got 2017, Big Blue. Do you have a prediction? Oregon ran for 107 yards.
I don't know what.
I don't know what I was watching. Here's the thing. I watched that game, going into that game, thinking like, okay, they won 24-14 against an FCS school.
Mm-hmm.
This has got to be terrible. And I just watched the offense move up and down the field, and then I didn't look at the box score. 107 yards.
Dude, when you dink and dunk, you can only go so far.
Absolutely. And he had 380 passing yards. But yeah, all right. Sorry, go ahead. What's your prediction?
40 for 47.
What? You think the score is going to be 44?
No, I say Dylan Gabriel went 40 for 47.
Oh, I thought you were saying that was the score of the game.
No,
41-49. But
for me to guess that, I would have to take down a whole bottle of stock to bar for that.
Delicious vibe.
I'll go. I think Texas gets a late score, so it'll be a closer game than the score shows. But give me 30. 30-17.
30-17.
I think they get up big and you guys score late.
Okay. So you think it's 30
Like 30 to
10
10, 30 to
going
10,
into
and then you guys score late.
Okay. All
And
right.
remember, it's not, and like, I want to emphasize this because I know how you Wolverine fans get about your defense. I'm not saying they score 30 because they're just lighting your defense up.
Yeah, it pick six,
I,
fumbles.
I
Yeah.
yeah, I don't believe. I think Davis Warren's gonna get the ball away. Um, and I mean, I think you're also forgetting the fact that he's never played in a game like this in his life.
Right.
He is. I know for a fact that Quinn Ewers went down into Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a much harder place to play than the University of Michigan State in the Big House.
Well, that game was at night.
Huh?
That game was at night.
Yep. And he lit that. They had probably the second best secondary in the nation behind Ohio State, and he lit them up. And people forget he did the year before he got hurt. He did it before that.
He did.
So like for people to think that he can't come in here and just light your guys' defense up, he's proven that he can. He's proven that he can. What I don't know is that Davis Warren can come into a top 10 matchup against a top 5 team in the country that has what we all believe to have better talent and beat them. Because he's gonna have to make some throws.
Yeah, I believe in Davis, but I don't think he's quite at Ewers level. I was gonna ask you a question.
He's Big Sky level, Mac level.
Hey now. That's a good question. I can't remember what I was gonna ask you. That defense, the Texas defense, held Colorado State to 192 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go back and watch that game, again, stats tell one story, and I think that's the big part of the story. But also, Colorado State was moving the ball. They just had so many dumb turnovers, penalties, which largely you could say, the Texas is to blame for that. You cause turnovers on defense, but other times you're giving the ball away. But at the end of the day, man, 192 yards, and I don't think Colorado State's not Akron. So
no. By the way,
this is I remember my question. Go ahead.
Oh no, go.
No, I have it here. Go for it.
I was gonna say I also heard some Michigan fans saying like, no, Quinn Ewers, he gets injured a lot. Y'all don't want Arch coming in the game.
Arch looked fun. He looked good. To watch.
You know, when some guys, when they come in the game and they just look different, they pop off the screen as soon as they touch the ball. You don't want him touching the field.
Yeah.
Not the Manning.
Final question on Texas. Do you guys claim Quinn Ewers? You get final say on this, Garrison.
He did say that team up north.
Is that enough? Is that enough for you guys to claim him?
Did he take some classes?
You can't claim Quinn.
No, listen, we don't claim Quinn Ewers, but what I will say is that it was upsetting to see him leave. I understand why he left, because a guy like him, of his talent level, I understand I wanted to wait another year under CJ Stroud, because he knew he was never going to beat him out. I think if we had Quinn Ewers last year, we would have won the national championship, and he would have been going off into going off to the NFL. But I really like him as a player, as a person also, and so yes, I will be rooting for him. But it's horns down.
Be rooting for him, but
it's horns down. It's horns down. But I'm cheering for Quinn.
Okay. All right, I cheer for the Big Ten, man. That's sick. Sickening.
I don't care about my conference. I hope you guys all fail.
Same, brother. All right. Well, here, let's talk about. Does this work here? There it is. Look at that. Look at us. I don't know how much you want to talk about this game. 38-point spread.
Dude, it sucks, man. I have a couple weeks of this, and I hate it.
Dude, this was last year for me. Like, let's talk about UNLV and their go-go offense. Like, that was kind of fun. But yeah, Western Michigan was 4-8 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts?
Well, last week they played Wisconsin. Wisconsin looked horrible. Or what is Charles Barkley? Terrible. It looked
Terrible.
terrible. And um, I don't know, man. Me and you, we grew up very close to Bronco country over there in Kalamazoo. They are somewhat near and dear to my hearts, but they're about to get punished this weekend. And it's I think with Dom and Jackson coming back, they are going to try and pound the rock against them. I think that Travion Henderson, um, Quinshon Judkins are going to get a healthy amount of carries. Also, watch for James Peoples, true freshman running back, who during the broadcast they said the guys are comparing him to J.K. Dobbins in terms of his speed. He looks like J.K. Dobbins body build wise, but it was really nice to see him get a touchdown.
He got the first one, right? He got one before the other two.
No,
Did he not?
did he?
I thought
Did he?
he was the first rushing
No,
touchdown.
Quinshon got the first touchdown for running backs.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing Brandon in his play. He talked this week about being on special teams and how he has taken that role, very seriously, and that it means a lot to him to be the return man. And last week he had a couple where I thought he was going to take him to the house. He also got in a lot at wide receiver, so clearly he is wide receiver 4 on the team. And during the offseason, I've said plenty of times, and relaying what Ryan Day said was that when he's on the field, you feel him. Clearly, Ryan Day wants to get the ball on Brandis in his hands. And, I've heard you say this and a lot of other Michigan fans say this. It was really cool, like on the sidelines, seeing Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson just, smiling, joking it up, because everyone's saying, oh, what are they going to do? There's only one ball to go around. Every time someone scores, they're all cheering each other on. Cardinal Tate gets his. The first person over to him is JJ. Emeka. He had a good game for when he got the ball. Didn't score a touchdown or anything, but he's out there being a leader, cheering on his guys. So we can throw that narrative to the trash and never bring it back.
Well, they've already got theirs, so of course they're gonna celebrate.
I guess. For Western Michigan, I gave you a couple guys to look at. Jaden Buckley at running back. I think it's going to be important for him. He had some success last week against a Big Ten defense, a really good Big Ten defense. Wisconsin has one of the best defenses, or I believe they're going to have one of the best defenses by the end of the year, ranked somewhere between the top 10 and top 15. But he has some success, over 4 yards of carry, but I believe if they want to have a chance, they need to give him the ball a lot and just keep our offense off the field. Because the truth of the matter is when we get on the field, I think we're going to run the air out the ball. I think they want to Ryan Day wants to make an emphasis on making sure that our offensive line can get some push and finding out ways. Now, I don't think we're going to open the playbook in the run game, but just enough to where we see some type of success. Other guys to watch, Green. He is a defensive lineman for them. He had 6 tackles last week. 5 of them were solo. Also had a sack. I think if he's on the interior, if they want to have some type of success, he has to have a very good game against our offensive line and our running backs. Bryce, I'm trying really hard for you right here, buddy.
I know you are. You are.
I'm trying really hard for you. And I'll just end it here, and we can talk about some other things. But a guy to watch is Arvell Reese, number 20, linebacker for Ohio State, young guy. Cody Simon didn't play last week. But after Sonny Styles, Gabe Powers played. Of course, CJ Hicks played also, and Arvell Reese did. Arvell Reese looked like the second best linebacker on the team. Taking Cody Simons out of this conversation because I want to see him play first. Arvell Reese looks like the second best linebacker on this team. CJ Hicks, the talent's there. I think he has trouble with reading the offense. I think he has trouble with that. I think he has trouble reading the offensive line and seeing and his own defensive line and seeing where to go. Now sideline to sideline, the kid is awesome. Had a sack in the game, ran down a few guys on the sideline, but consistency, man, consistency,
Yeah.
and he lacks it right now. Gabe Powers came in the game, got a pick six. I'd love to see more of him. He's a very athletic guy. So yeah.
Yep.
Also, I want to see Julius Sand in the game.
Yeah, I actually I watched that game on, was it Sunday? I think it was. I watched the recording of your guys' game, and I didn't see who was the first quarterback out
Will,
after Will. Sorry, who's the first guy?
it was Devin.
Devin, and he wasn't the only one who played, was he? I saw he's only on the stat line.
Yeah, he was the only other one that played,
Wow.
and he did not threw the ball a few times. Easy plays, couldn't do it, and
Uh-oh.
I mean
Concerning.
it's not concerning. He doesn't start for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I mean, it's a couple throws in a game where you come in, you're not warmed up or anything. You're cold.
Okay. All right.
But Devin, you've been here for a while now. I expect better out of you.
That's what I'm saying, man. I'm very
I
surprised.
you get a couple passes. I expect you to make them, especially if they're easy. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't see him bounce it off the turf and kill a worm like some quarterbacks do in their junior year.
Unnecessary
But
shot there, but all right. Yeah, I agree with most of that stuff in the sense that I think we'll talk about this here in a bit with our picks, but I do think you guys are going to cover. I think it's going to be a beatdown. I think you guys are going to run the ball, and it's going to be 41-0 with 4 rushing touchdowns.
I had a question for you actually. I just thought about what was your first impression of Will Howard in a Buckeye uniform? By watching him play.
Yeah, he looked good. Looked good, man. He looked good. Again, like not much is asked for you. You got great receivers, and he did what he was supposed to do. That one we talked about on the last episode show. That one where he tried to make a play happen. It's fine against Akron, but like that's the one thing he can't do here. But that's being a little bit nitpicky. So he adds something. I don't know if he can throw the ball the same as Kyle could, but he obviously adds wheels.
I mean,
and you needed that last year.
After his first 4 incompletions, which was his first 4 passes, he went 66%.
Oh, what is that? Like, are you talking about like 2 for 3, or are you talking about?
No, like I think he threw a total of 20 some passes.
Okay.
His first 4 he missed. After that, he threw 26%. I mean 66%.
Yeah, was it the first touchdown? That's a nice fader out to Smith. So, but it's Jeremiah Smith. So, all right, we'll see. Yeah, man. I think
it too early? Is it too? Never mind. I'm not gonna ask the question.
No, that's out there. No, okay. I give a hot take. You give a hot take.
No. I'm cool.
Lame.
I'm not. No. It's too early for the what I was gonna say. It's just too early. I can't do it.
Say it.
I have a reputation to keep.
Say it.
No, I'll ask this question after the Oregon game.
Soft.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? We got a wise guys pick.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I had one more player to watch. Because I think he's gonna get in the game a lot because we're gonna be up early. Jermaine Matthews. Now.
There we go.
Burke, Hancock, Igbenogson. I know how good those 3 are. I trust me, I do. I think the corner with the most upside in that room, even with the younger guys, I think Jermaine Matthews has the most talent in that cornerback room. I look for him to get in the game a lot this week. Look for him to make some plays. He knows where the ball is. And if it's in the air with your wide receiver, that's not a 50-50 ball. So yeah, look for him to make some plays also, and throughout the year. because the only reason he doesn't start is because of who he sits behind.
Okay. He was sophomore, right?
Yep,
Okay.
played a lot last year. I had the I think he had the highest grade defensive grade for any freshman last year on defense for at corner. Yeah,
Yeah.
per PFF. So
Okay.
take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. All right. Jermaine Matthews.
Oh, I'm sorry. And a score. I said Ohio State wouldn't give up a touchdown until Michigan State. So let's go 45-6. No, 45-3. They're not going to move the ball on us. There's a chance they might. There's a chance they might not get to 150 yards.
If they get to 150 yards, and they went 4-8 last year.
And I think and just like you guys, they had one drive over 75 yards. What that results into a touchdown. Just one.
Yeah. Okay. All right, wise guy picks.
And I'm 1-4 right now, and you're 3-2.
See if we can find it. There we go. Wise guy picks. Yep. So I'm 3-2, 1-4. You got some work to do. Tough week 1, but we're back. We are back. You want to go first?
Yeah, man. So, first here I have Texas and Michigan over 42. Like I said about an hour ago, I was picking the under. I think that Texas gets to 30. I think that Michigan gets the 17 late. So there you go. NC State plus 10. I think NC State has something rolling in their program. Now Tennessee's offense looked scary last week, but again, it was against a nobody. Even though I still think that Nico is going to be a good quarterback in college football and for Tennessee, but NC State can play football. I think they cover the plus 10. Michigan State plus 9 against Maryland. Now Billy Boy over in the quarterback for Maryland lit it up last week. That was surprising to see. I think Michigan State gets up for this game. I think Aiden Childs in his second college start or his third, plays better. It's not going to be an easy game. Maryland has talent, but Michigan State does also. But I don't know if they're going to win this game, but they'll definitely get within a touchdown. Syracuse money line against Georgia Tech.
Shout out Kyle.
Don't fall too in love with that Florida State win from Georgia Tech. Don't fall in love with that too much. Because when they step on the field, I don't think the talent is that different, and Syracuse has the better quarterback, and it's not a conversation. And then in Illinois money line against Kansas, I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why. But what I do know is that Brett Bielema is a good football coach. He knows how to run his offense, and this isn't the Big 12. That's what I do know. I think they run right through Kansas. I think they run right through them.
I like it. That's a good pick. That spread is I've got
plus 4.
Is it down to 4? It opened up at 6, and I saw 5.5, but maybe it's 4 now.
Oh, and by the way, I do want to say this real quick regarding the Texas and Michigan game.
Yeah,
that game opened up at 6, 4, I believe. Yeah, 4. Opened up at 4. Went to 6, then 6.5, then 7, and I've seen 7.5 today. Vegas is either telling us that they think they're trying to steal the money, or they think Texas is gonna blow you out of here. Because if you think about it, you get 3 points for being at home, right? So that means that on a neutral field, they think Texas is a 10-point favorite. Now, let's put Texas at home. That makes them almost a 2-touchdown favorite, dude. 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I thought I saw 75% of the money is on Texas minus the points. And then I forget what the other percentages of Michigan money line. So yeah, I don't know what Vegas is telling us there. Could be that. I don't know. But maybe. maybe. All right,
So what do you have, genius?
I got Oregon again. I watched Oregon I watched them last night, finally, and I just saw an offense that moved the ball, and I think Dan Lanning is the type of guy that is going to make these guys run for that performance last week, and so I think they're going to come out with a different attitude. It is against Boise State, but I'm laying the points there.
I agree with you.
Oh, thank you. Mississippi State, I don't know why, but they play Arizona State plus 5.5. Give me the SEC over the Big 12, which is so weird to say still. And then this one's pretty much my lock. I feel really good about this one. Tennessee. I don't know if I'm listening to Tom Fornelli too much, but he's got me too hyped on Nico. I think that offense is legit. So even if it's a high scoring game, I think Tennessee can get to 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think you guys are going to roll. I think it's one of those show 'em games. You guys didn't cover last week. I think Ryan Day is going to, Chip Kelly are going to look for something to motivate. And I think covering the spread is going to be one of those things.
How many touchdowns does Jeremiah Smith have?
I don't think he has any.
Okay.
Not for his lack of talent, but just.
No, yeah.
I think he's got, I think it'll be a rushing attack. I think you get some other guys involved.
Mm-hmm.
And then Georgia Tech, opposite of you. I like Georgia Tech. I think they run the ball well. Their offensive line is well coached. I don't know what that talent is like. I can't sit here and say I went up and down Georgia Tech's depth chart and looked at their mock draft rankings, but they run the ball well. And is Florida State a complete sham? Possibly, but I still think there's talent and they push them around. So I like that one.
Well, I think that's 3 games we've picked over the last 2 weeks now. The same games.
Same games. Only one come out a winner. Hey, last thing, and we'll wrap up here. What did you think about Judkins' comments today?
I loved it.
Well, I do that. Like, we need to get an Ole Miss fan on here to get their side.
Wait, man, the things that I would say about Ole Miss, but
hey, you're good in the Twitter sphere. Find us an Ole Miss fan who can come talk to us about.
I know one.
Their side.
I know one. I got one.
All right,
I think I can find one.
Get his story.
No, but wait a second. Now, hold on a second.
I don't want to hear just your guys' side.
Their capacity is 63K.
Yeah,
it's 63K. Ohio State has the 3rd largest stadium.
I didn't see the live interview, but that was a shot. It was a shot.
No. All he said, well, I mean, but is it so wrong of him to say, it's different? It's like how it's different, and exciting having, getting to play against 100,000, and that the only time you ever got to do that was on the road. He's just talking to actual facts.
You can say over 100,000 fans is sweet. The crowd is awesome. Columbus rocks, right? You can say all those things, but then to throw that last line of I only got to see that at away games is so disrespectful.
I know.
All right. Well, next episode we will be either really happy or really bummed. And honestly, here's the thing, and this is not a catch-all. If we do lose the game, depending on how we lose the game, Michigan fans. This is a message to Michigan fans. Relax, okay?
No, you only say that so much.
I do, because you guys are annoying too. All fan bases are like this. Bunch of babies. Every fan base has babies.
You're gonna laugh when you rewatch this at the end and notice when I peek over, you'll see a tiny little head pop out. It was Justice.
Hey, Justice. All right. Hey, if you're into West Michigan football, tune in. Garrison and I are broadcasting the South Christian East Grand Rapids game. MichiganSportsRadio.com. Tune in.
We'll put the link in the bio.
Yes. All right. Go Blue.